pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pussycat, pussycat, I've got flowers and lots of hours to spend with you.
Thanks for joining us here at Rose Quartz Mediumship podcast, where we simply adore anything and everything healing and metaphysically based. The other night, I was brushing my teeth before bed, and a little fact about me, I really love brushing my teeth. I think it feels so good. And so I was in my bathroom brushing my teeth, and one of our cats walked in. And she was the last cat who we got in our group of cats. And she had a harder time integrating into our home. And so she is our only cat who is a little bit timid and a little standoffish. And she came into the bathroom, and I was brushing my teeth, and I said hello to her. And she started to purr. And in the purring, I knew that she was looking for connection. And as I was finishing brushing my teeth, I leaned forward to spit the toothpaste out of my mouth and felt her brush against my leg. And then she nibbled on the back of my leg. And I squealed because I wasn't expecting it. And she went running, but she was still purring. And then I went to my room and I started a meditation. And I got thinking about the experience with her. And as I was sitting there meditating, she hopped up next to me and was still purring. And I thought how symbolic it was. Sometimes when we feel unsafe and we're looking for connection, but we don't know how to allow that kind of vulnerability, we end up biting the ones who we love, the ones who we're seeking the affection, connection, and belonging from. And we don't mean to. We don't mean to bite them, but sometimes it just happens. We just bite a little bit, a little nibble, when really what we meant to do was love them. And I recognize that leaving her mom was traumatic, and that she still hadn't found the deepest form of safety here in our home yet, which is why she nibbled when she came to say hi. And I think so often we do that in life. We've been hurt. We feel unsafe. And we're trying to be vulnerable. We're trying to be loved. We're trying for connection or belonging. But sometimes we just nibble a little bit in the process. We're not trying to bite somebody, but it just happens. And I got thinking about the symbolism of that and how that is such a common thing that I watch with people when they're trying to be in friendship or partnership, whether it is romantic or platonic or work or family. Sometimes we are desperately wanting to love. And somehow in the process, we end up biting just a little bit. And I thought a lot about versions of myself, past versions of myself, that meant to snuggle, and somehow I bit. And I was purring, and I was leaning in, but I didn't feel safe. And the way that I expressed that lack of safety that I was feeling in my nervous system, in my body, in my being, was to bite. A little bit of fight energy coming out of me, when what I really meant to do was love. And that's coming from a very subconscious place. And if you look at the nervous system, our subconscious drives the majority of our reality. Somewhere between 85 and 95% of our reality is driven through our subconscious. And so if we feel unsafe, we might bite when we meant to snuggle. Sometimes we're purring. Sometimes we're leaning in, and our subconscious gets the best of us, tells us that we're not safe. And sometimes we end up nibbling or biting just a little bit. And so I was coming out of the meditation. I realized that the kitten was curled up next to me. And I started to pat her and look at her as another expression of myself. And began to really ask myself, where am I still doing that? Where am I meeting to snuggle and somehow end up biting? And as I was patting her and looking at her, she nibbled on my hand. And so I picked her up and I held her to my heart and I told her that she was safe. But the thing is, until her nervous system feels safe, truly, deeply safe, she's probably still going to nibble, even when she doesn't mean to. And it doesn't matter how much I tell her that she's safe. I need to show her for long enough that her nervous system recognizes it's had enough experience with me to know that I am in fact safe. And it can be really frustrating as the one who's holding the kitten to my chest, telling her that she's safe and showing her that she's safe. And it can feel frustrating to say, what more do I need to do to show you that you're safe? But I don't get to decide when she feels safe. That's up to her, and that's up to her nervous system. And I think about relationships. So often we are telling our partner, our friend, our family member, our coworker, whoever it is, that they are safe. And we are holding them to our chest. And we are gently patting them, telling them that they're safe and that we love them. And it can feel frustrating when they turn around and nibble. We don't get to decide when someone else feels safe. We just keep showing up, demonstrating safety so that they can feel it in their nervous system. And sometimes we need to make the decision that we no longer want to be bitten and that we no longer want to be in connection with somebody who doesn't feel safe, because that begins to feel unsafe for us. And that's okay too. And sometimes we just need to keep showing up and telling and showing someone that they're safe until they feel it in their own nervous system. And when they feel it in their own nervous system, they'll stop biting. And they'll just lean in. And they'll just purr. And they'll just relax into the connection and belonging and love that is there. I hope that wherever it is that this podcast is finding you, that you are having a beautiful morning, day, evening, or night.